every technical advantage that you have is getting taken away, right?
When I first started doing videos, it would be so frustrating sometimes. It would take me all day. Because literally I was telling the guys before, I would write down a notes, word for word, for the room that I was in. I'd read it, I'd put it in my back pocket, I'd be like, go. And I was basically, in my mind, I was almost on an auto cue, just reading what I'd said. And sometimes I'd nail it, and I'd be like, that'd be great. And the guy would be like, oh, we've not got it. And I could never do it again.
You're kidding.
And sometimes it'd take me like 10 times. Yeah, so...
That's how it starts, right? Like,
but,
it's just...
Yeah, 100%, it's hard. But I think now what I would advise people to do is document, because trying to create stuff all the time on top of what you're doing, it's like, you just can't.
No,
you're not gonna get it done.
No, I mean, I think, look, most things, especially because we're like talking technology and things like that, I'd say every technical advantage that you have is getting taken away, right? Whether it's your knowledge, whether it's some sort of, advanced system that you've got, in the house. It's kind of it's a new platform. You just need to have it, right? You just need to have the most advanced thing, and that's just a given. Yeah. But what really sets you apart is your story, your personal brand, your character, and the simple things, actually, the things that people used to value back in the day. Yeah. So I think that's where we're headed to. And
it's going back almost to more real stuff.
Even though it's going forward, it is actually going back. Yeah. So I think documenting is such an important part of that, because people get to be a part of your journey, part of your story, and not just once you've made it, And I think it's a fun way to give. Like whenever I go to Kite Beach, or when I go to random places, you get recognized and things like that. Not because you're doing something insane, but because people feel like they're part of your journey and part of your story.
100%. I was having a conversation with one of our guys this morning, and he's really trying hard to cover the platforms on social media and try and get his brand out. And he was doing a post on LinkedIn, and he's like, okay, I think I've got this one. Let me know what you think. And I looked at it, and the first thing I saw was one of the ChatGPT hyphens. Is it a hyphen? Is that what you call it?
I'm not sure.
The long line in the middle, which only
fine.
ChatGPT does. And I just said straight away, you ChatGPT did it, right? And he was like, yeah, but that everyone does it, right? And I'm like, yeah, but as soon as people see that, people are so busy now. They're not going to have. You're basically asking them to spend 3 minutes reading what you wrote.
Oh wow!
And to ask them to do that, it's got to be from you, No,
I mean, I've got an interesting LinkedIn hack, by the way, for whoever wants to.
Is it the lie? Is it the gap that you do?
Yeah. Well, that's part of.
Because I saw that and I thought, why? And I've seen a few people doing it. I need to ask you about that.
Probably, right? Maybe there's something there. I mean, almost every one of my last few posts I've done ridiculously well, right? I get now I know how to get a 200 post out or a 300 post out. You just know what the formula is. And there's this creator on LinkedIn. His name is, I believe, Yasmin, or that's what it goes by. He's got 300,000 followers on LinkedIn. Okay. And it's called Hook Rehook. That's what it's called, right? So the first line is something outrageous, right? Is the Dubai real estate market
over?
Done, right? And then the second line is addressing that objection, right? The reader, when they read that first line, is like, what? You're kidding, right? That's a joke. And they're like, yeah, I'm joking, or whatever, but
obviously
this is what's actually happening.
Not done, but this...
Yeah, your call, people think, for instance, when you LinkedIn message and when people try to get a job on LinkedIn, right? They're straight away asking for the job instead of starting a conversation, which is what it is. The same thing applies for the posts, where you need to get them to actually get interested in the conversation with the first line. And then the rest is sort of the value, right? But if they're not even interested in the first line, they're not even going to look at the second one. So you're actually trying to win them at multiple points. Hook, rehook, and then bang, bang, bang. The points are, all of them need to be split up, easily readable, right? One line, one line, one line, one line. Instead of having these chunky paragraphs, right? I used to do that all the time, and our head of marketing, Susanna, was just like, that's not it, Joel. You can't do that.
No. People want it easy. Bite
and
size.
they want a photo. Believe it or not.
A real photo.
Not a thirst trap, but a photo. Definitely, they want to put a face to the name. And to be honest, I think on LinkedIn, positive hooks work. Yeah. People don't like hearing negative things as much.
They go on Twitter or X for that, right?
Yeah. I mean, Twitter and X, actually, interesting that you bring that up, is more of an educational platform in the context of tech, where they do these things called threads. Yeah. So
Naval, I've read some of his. Amazing, right? He was the OG of the threads.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's a very interesting. But on LinkedIn, it's very congratulatory, very positive. and very like achievement based. I just did this amazing thing, like that kind of a vibe. And if you can hack it, you'll be surprised. I've had people from some of the biggest brokerages in the world, aka have done $150 billion in sales worth of brokerages. You know which one I'm talking about. You know, the heads of those and like, you know, serious executives at those kind of companies reach out to me, someone who is like totally random person on LinkedIn who I've never met before. I don't have all the, let's say, traditional advantages that someone in their market would. Yeah. And they're happy to text a guy in Dubai.
Because they feel like
because they know you, right? Like, because like I've got pictures of me up there from like everything from my graduation through to when I started my first company, to everything like our fundraise, the Forbes announcements, like, you know, all sorts of things on there. So people can just scroll and be like, do I think this guy is legitimate?
Yeah, genuine.
Is he? Yeah, exactly, right? Like, and people are sensible, so.
Yeah, 100%.